Okay, welcome to the Coaching to Profit series. And in this series, I'll be showing you everything you need to know to start a very profitable coaching business from scratch. That means we're doing it right from the beginning to the very end. Everything you need to know. So this is brought to you by Creators HQ, and my name is Aiko Kulie. I'm going to be working with you for these 5 days to help you build a profitable coaching business. Okay, now, so let's move on to what we have for you today. So today is going to be the very first video. So if you're watching this video as it drops, that's fine. So this video started dropping on the 26th of June, 2023. So if you're watching after that time, or maybe sometime down the line, you might just want to look below this video for the other videos. That's for day 2, day 3, and day 4 and day 5. Okay, so but if you're watching as it drops, then I say welcome. This is going to be video 1 or day 1. So what we're going to be talking about today is how you can get started as a coach. So what's involved in coaching? How can you get started as a coach? So now let's move on. So the very first thing that you need, which is very important, is to have an abundance mindset. So if you don't have the abundance mindset and you get every other thing I'm going to be talking about down the line, or maybe in the next in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and 5 days, those ones won't matter if you don't get this right. So the mindset of abundance is very, very, very important. And what is the abundance mindset about? The first one is the money mindset. You need to believe that there is money everywhere and you have your share outside there, right? So there's money everywhere and you deserve to have that money. You deserve for people to pay you that money. So whatever you carry, whatever value you carry, people should actually pay you for that value. Because there are people who actually believe that they don't carry a lot or they don't know a lot, and then they begin to have this low mindset about money. And of course, if you have a very low mindset about money and you feel that you don't deserve it, that money is not going to come to you. So you need to believe that there is money in the pockets of people and you deserve to receive that money. The second one is the business mindset. Coaching, the business of coaching is a business. That's why it's called business of coaching, right? And you need to treat it as such. You need to treat it as a business. So the business mindset simply means that you need to focus on your business and treat it as a business. And you need to understand that sometimes you might have setbacks and sometimes the profits might not come as it should. Sometimes you might launch and might not get results almost immediately. And that's what business is about. So business is not about you making profit every time, because sometimes you have setbacks. So you need to have that in mind when you're starting your coaching business. Sometimes you launch and you don't get as many people as you planned to get. What happened? You need to go back to the drawing board and check where you got it all wrong and relaunch. So that is the business mindset. The last one is the value mindset. So if you're in the business of coaching, you need to understand that you are in the business of giving value in terms of your content and in terms of your product. So you don't just come to the market with any product. As a coach, your product has to be properly structured and very valuable. So the value mindset is important, knowing that whatever you give out, there's always more from where that came from. So you can't be a coach and decide to hoard information. You can't be a coach and decide that I want to keep this and give out this. No, you are giving out everything, either in form of your content or your free content or your paid product. So that valuable mindset has to come in. You have to have that mindset of giving value. So making money in coaching is just about the value you give out, plus the audience you give out the values to, and then the offers you make to this audience. So the money in coaching doesn't just fall from anywhere. It doesn't just fall from or just come out from thin air. It's about the value you give, the audience you give that value to. So you must have an audience, and the offers you make to that audience. So we are still going to be talking about audience building and offers down the line. But for now, let's just understand what the coaching business is about. Okay, so now we have course creation and we have coaching. I see a lot of people who are course creators call themselves coaches, and there's a difference. Is there really a difference between coaching and course creation? We're going to see the difference between the two, and then you decide if you want to go into coaching, because coaching is where there's the major transformation. That's where you get transformation yourself. That's where you get better results in your business. That's where you make more money, and then that's where also you give the biggest transformation to your students or your clients, right? So what is the difference between coaching and course creation? Now, course creation is simply about information. You are giving out information. That's why people who are course creators can go and do a particular research. I can simply go do research. I might not be a weight loss expert, but I will comb the internet, do different research, go on YouTube, get information, go on Google, get information and put it in form of a product. It can be a course, an online course, or it can be a book or an ebook or whatever it is. I put those information together in a very simplified format, and then I sell that information. That doesn't make me a coach. That simply makes me a course creator, because I don't have a systematic approach towards transformation. So coaching is a systematic approach towards transformation. So aside just giving information, coaching comes from a lot of things. It comes from experience, it comes from track record, it comes from a lot of things. And now you have a system. This is the first step. So if you want to make money, this is the first step, this is the first thing you do, this is the second thing you do. And the coach is always there trying to help you get results. So coaching is about transformation, and while course creation is mostly about information. Now let's look at the difference properly. Now we'll talk about transformation and we'll talk about information. We've already explained that. The next one is experience and track record. Then course creation is more or less about research, though it can still come from experience too. But most times, or all the time, coaching comes from experience and track record. That's why when you see a football coach, a football coach is always somebody who has played the game to the highest level and then has still gone to the coaching school to learn tactics and strategies on how to get results or how to help players get results or get better results. So when they go to the school, they learn about fitness, they learn about diet, they learn about tactics and all that on the pitch. So, but that's not what you get on course creation. So, like as a course creator, you go into the internet and then look for all the information as a course creator, put those information together and sell. But you don't see a football coach doing that. A football coach is always there helping the player all the way through till the player gets better. That's why sometimes you see a coach comes and a player just improves. That means the coach was there helping that player based on his experience and track record, helping that player towards transformation. So that's what coaching does. It's different from course creation. Now, the next one is coaching is relatively expensive because the coach usually invests his time into coaching. So, course creator, let me give you a real life example with a football coach. A football coach is always there. A football coach can be with a football team for 5 years and even more, sometimes 2 years, 1 year. If he's not getting the result, he's sacked and another person is brought in. So a football coach can be there for as long as possible. But a course creator can just be someone who comes in one day to give just a specific information and then go. Really, there's no transformation there. So a coach, the time of the coach is invested into that program. So a coach gets paid more than a course creator. That's why a coach can charge as much as $10,000. I've seen coaches, I've worked with coaches who charge $50,000 for their programs. Yes, and because their time is being invested. So you are getting everything. You're getting their template. You are getting their time. Sometimes you are getting into their networks, right? And sometimes you are getting to talk to them personally. That's personal touch. So Coaching is relatively more expensive than courses or course creation. Then the last one there on this list, this is not an exhaustive list, so it's actually more than this, but these are some of the differences. Coaching is an accountable process because you are accountable to your coach. You're accountable to your coach. The coach is seeing your progress. The coach is on you to get result. Now, if you look at some coaching programs, you will notice that there are coaching programs whereby you don't move from model 1 to model 2 until you understand model 1, you've done your project for model 1, then the coach will allow you move to model 2. So you're accountable in a way to the coach. So there are some coaching programs whereby every week you come in a session to give your coach your progress report. But course creation is at your own pace. You buy the course, you take it at your own pace. Whether you watch it or not is not the course creator's business. So course creation is not really coaching. Course creation is something you do at your own pace. Yes, the course creator might be there to answer questions here and there, but most times you are not accountable to that course creator. You are not giving progress report. They're not really looking at what you're doing. So whether you take the course or not is not the course creator's business. So these are some of the major differences between course creation and coaching. Now, if you want to get started in coaching, what is the first step? The very first step would be, it's possible that you've already gone through this step. So like I said, we are taking it right from the very beginning to the end. So if you've already gotten your market, you've already gotten your niche, bear with us while we take others who really don't understand this step through the steps. So the very first step is finding your uniqueness. So whatever it is, you're unique in your own way. There might be 1,001 people or 1,000,001 people in that market or doing the same thing that you do, but you always come with a tweak, with your own uniqueness to the market, right? So we're going to be talking about how you can choose a profitable market. So how do you choose a profitable market, and what are the things you look out for when you're choosing a profitable market? So now let's look at it. So you pick a profitable coaching market based on these factors. So these are the factors that you're going to probably use to choose a market for yourself. The first one is your skills. So what skills do you have? What skills do you have right now? So now don't try to imagine if the skill would be profitable or not, because now we are not talking about the profitability of the skill, because there are some skills that are not profitable. There are some that are more profitable than the others, but don't even look at the profitability of that skill for now. Now I'm going to tell you to pick up a sheet of paper and write out every skill that you have. So on the sheet of paper, one side you are going to draw 4 columns. One side you're going to write my skills. The next column you're going to write my knowledge. The next column is going to be my experience, and the last one is going to be my track record, right? I'm going to explain all this one after the other. So the first one is your skill. So it's possible that you're a very good web designer. You can design amazing website. Now you can decide that you want to create a course on web designing and charge a little amount of money for it. Or you can decide that you want to teach people how to build a web design business or how to build a web design agency. So assuming you already have that track record or you have that skill and you've been able to use that skill to build an agency, a web design agency, you can decide to show people. But this time, instead of just creating a course, you are taking people on a journey to becoming a top web design agency. So you have probably a 6-week program where people are watching videos, they are reporting to you, they're accountable, they have access to your templates, they have access to your email templates, how you send emails to clients. You are giving them assignments, you're giving them projects, and they are reporting back to you. That is what makes you a coach and not a course creator. So it's possible that you're a good graphics designer, you're a good software developer, you are good at event planning and all that. So those are your skills. So what skill do you have that you can build a coaching business from? So you begin to write down all your skills. The next one is your knowledge. So knowledge is basically from formal or informal education, right? So it's possible that you studied something in school. Probably you studied accountancy in school, and you've graduated, and you're a chartered accountant right now. So based on that knowledge, you can teach other people, or you can show other people how to do a particular thing. It can be maybe how to pay their tax properly, right? There are so many people who want to pay taxes, but maybe do not know why they should pay their taxes. They don't believe in government, or they don't even know why the tax is going to benefit them, or sometimes they don't even know how to. They want to, but they don't know how to go about it. That is your knowledge. You are in the accounting business or the accountancy market, or that's what you studied in school. You can help those business owners do that. There are some people who want to. I know somebody who is a startup lawyer, and what she basically does is to help startups with their legal frameworks, right? Legal frameworks. Yes, she studied law. She's a qualified lawyer, and she's helping startups do that based on the knowledge, the formal knowledge she got from the four walls of the university, right? And there are other people who got informal education. Probably you learned fashion and designing somewhere without actually going to school. Probably you learned fashion and designing from your parents, right? Or you got a particular knowledge on gardening from your parents, or you got a so that is an informal knowledge. You didn't get it from the four walls of school. You got it from somebody. So it was passed down to you from somebody. So that's your knowledge. So on the second column, every knowledge you have, not minding if it's profitable or not profitable now. We are not talking about the profitability now. We'll still talk about how profitable it is later. Just write out all the knowledge you have in the second column. Now, the last one is your experience. So, experience is basically where you worked. Where you worked. So, for example, you worked in the hospital as a doctor for 15 years. You have that medical experience. Or you worked in the bank for 20 years. You have that banking experience. So, while I worked in the bank, I had this colleague who was a senior colleague in the bank, and he taught me so many things about banking while I was in banking. So I left before he did. So he was asked to leave based on issues he had with some customers. So he was asked to leave. But based on his experience, he had about 10 years experience in banking. Now he's a financial expert teaching other people, especially people who are working class, how to invest their monies properly. So that's what he's teaching them based on his experience as a former banker. So he's teaching them how to invest in the money market, how to invest in the foreign exchange market, and all that based on the experience he had in banking. So what experience do you have? Where have you worked in the past? Where have you worked in the past? And I feel that that experience can be beneficial to other people, right? Maybe somebody might want to learn it because based on the experience in banking, he knows a lot because he has worked in banking for so many years, and he can advise people financially, or advise people how to invest their monies profitable. People are going to believe him more because of his experience in banking. So what experience do you have? Not minding if it's profitable or not, just write it down for now. The last one is the track record. So it's possible that you don't have any skill, you don't have any knowledge, or maybe what you studied in school is not something that is strong enough. You don't have any experience. Probably you have a track record. Now, track record is maybe something you did for yourself or something you did for somebody else. So there are people who were overweight. Okay, let me use an example of a client. She had an autistic son, an autistic son who was struggling to read and to do mathematics, right? Simple mathematics. So the boy was really struggling to read at 7 years. So what she did was to go research, did a lot of research, and brought her own unique twist to it, right? And with this, she was able to teach that autistic son how to read fluently and how to do mathematics. Now, she's now in that niche based on the track record she has on her son. That she didn't just end there. She taught her second son how to read at 2 years. At 2 years, he was reading storybooks. He was reading storybooks. He could spell, he could write. At 2, at 3, he was already very good at reading and writing. So she had that track record with her sons. Now, based on the track record, she's now coaching other women how to do the same. So she has a structured coaching program where she's teaching other women her processes, what she did step by step with her sons, and how she was able to teach them how to read. And she's passing out this knowledge based on her track record to other women. Okay? So now you can pick a profitable market based on this thing. So what track record do you have? What have you done for yourself or for somebody else that you feel that other people might need? There are people who were overweight. They did some research, and from being overweight, they found a solution and they came down. You are qualified to become a coach because you have something that other people would need based on the fact that you did it for yourself. You are even a social proof yourself. So you qualify to teach other people based on that track record. Okay? So now, what are the markets that you can go into? What are the markets you can go into? The first type of market is what we call the big four market. They are usually the biggest market, and people are always coming into this market every day. So people are always looking for solutions in this market every day, every single day. So the market is always big, very, very large. You know that people always need money. People are looking for their business, they're looking for ways for their businesses to grow, and this market keeps growing every day. People want better relationship, people want to have better sex. Whether you like it or not, people actually want to learn on how to have better sex, whether male or females. Females want to learn how to satisfy their men. The men want to learn how to satisfy their women. Then relationship, people are learning on. I have a client who is in the relationship niche, and she talks about breakups and divorce, right? And that's a big market. People are paying her good money just for her to coach them on how to get over the divorce and breakup. Then the health and wellness, of course. People want to become healthy. People get sick every day. People are having terminal diseases every single day. So the market keeps growing, right? The market keeps growing. So it's a big market. Then the beauty and fashion market. People want to look good, right? They want to be beautiful and all that. So these markets, they are called the big four because they tap into the biggest insecurity of man, like the insecurity and greed of man, right? Humans, we are naturally insecure. Every human has an insecurity, whether you like it or not. No matter how confident that human being is, they have one insecurity or the other. Every human is naturally greedy. If they were not greedy, you will see somebody who is the richest man in the world is still doing business. He still wants to make more money. Though he has enough money to take him for the lifetime, but he wants more because we are naturally greedy. So this market keeps growing because it taps into the insecurity and the greed of man. Insecurity and the greed of humans. Now let's look at the second type of market. It's called the passion market, right? There's so many other markets that people are just there, not because it's part of the big four, but because they are passionate about those markets. Now we have spirituality. Spirituality is a very big market, but it's not part of the big four, right? Spirituality is not about the insecurity. Sometimes it can still be about the insecurity of man, right? And it can still be about that. But sometimes it's not. It's just passion based. People are just passionate about spirituality. People want to connect more with God. People want to know God more and all that. It might not be really tied to insecurity, and sometimes it might be tied to it. Now, so when you talk about spirituality, when you talk about the passion market, I always tell people that if you're in the passion market, find a way to tie that passion market into one of the big fours. Now, if you look at spirituality, for example, why I'm saying that spirituality sometimes can tap into the insecurity of man is because look at the churches around the world right now. The churches that believe in holiness, we don't believe in wealth. We just believe that we should. This world is not our home. We're just passing through and all that. If you look at those kind of churches, they don't usually have the crowd. They don't usually have the crowd. But now look at all these other churches that talk about prosperity, financial breakthrough, money, business. You see the crowd going to that church. Now they've tied spirituality to one of the insecurities and greed of man. So you see a lot of people believing that, oh, God is going to give them wealth, God is going to give them financial breakthrough and all that. So those churches understand. So they've tied spirituality to money and business. They've tied spirituality to money and business. So if you're in the passion market, always, maybe sometimes, find a way to tie that passion market into one of the big fours. One of the big fours. So let me take another one. Maybe languages, for example. You teach people maybe how to speak French. You can speak French, and you teach English speakers how to speak French. So how can you tie that into one of the big fours? You can tie that into one of the big fours maybe by showing them the opportunities, the bigger opportunities. Learning French can open to them, the bigger doors it can open to them, can open them to international whatever, right? So you tie it into the fact that it can open bigger doors for them. So if I'm teaching French, for example, maybe I would teach French to probably executive or career people, and I'll let them know that based on their career, if they learn French, it can open bigger doors for them, right? It can give them better opportunities internationally. Then, if I'm in the cooking niche or cooking market, I can teach people ties to maybe relationship. Cooking brings the family together. So if you learn how to cook, you keep your family together. You're able to keep your spouse, right? So you see how I'm able to tie the passion market into one of the big fours. Okay, so these are the passion market. There are so many, and there are so many. So I just gave this five: spirituality, home and garden, games, languages, cooking. I just gave this five for example. There's so many other passion markets, right? Now let's talk about choosing your niche. Choosing your niche. Now you have your market. Probably you've decided to play in the money and business market, or you've decided to play in the relationship market, or you've decided to play in the sex market, right? And you're like, oh, should I be a generalist or I should be a specialist coach? Now, look at it in the real world. Let's use doctors for example. Generalist doctors are paid less and they work more than specialist doctors. Now, look at it. General doctors, they are paid less and they work more than specialist doctors. The same way with generalist coaches. In short, you can't be a coach and be a generalist. You have to be a specialist. So coaches actually look at, oh, what aspect of money and business should I be focusing on? It can be maybe financial transformation or financial whatever, or tax, or breakup and divorce and breakup, right? I have a client who is in the divorce and breakup niche. That's all she does, right? She's in the big relationship niche, but she decided to be a specialist in divorce and breakup, right? So she's a specialist coach. So anytime somebody thinks of divorce and breakup, her name comes up. Her name would be the first on the list because she's a specialist. There might be other relationship coaches, but she's a divorce and specialist coach. So how do you come up with your niche? How do you choose your niche? So I already did a mind map, and I'm going to show you the mind map shortly, so that you can see how you can choose your niche, or how you can pick your niche. So let's take a look at the mind map. So here is a simple mind map on how to pick your niche. So I already broke it down into the big four, but it doesn't matter any market you're going to be going into. It doesn't matter whether it's in the big four or the passion-based market, right? Now let's look at the money and business market, and let's look at the different niches you can get from there and the different sub niches. Now there are times where you might want to be in the niche, or there are times where you might want to be in the sub niche, right? And most times I always prefer to be in the sub niche. Like for me, I do sales funnel and automation for coaches and consultants. That is a sub niche. Now, that niche can be under digital marketing, right? It can be under digital marketing, but instead of me doing digital marketing for everybody, I decided to choose a sub niche. Now, this is the money and business market. So instead of saying I'm in the money and business market and try to capture and try to be the guru in the market, which is even impossible. You can't know everything in the money and business market. So what you might want to do is niche down. But even if you are niching down, you might want to go further. Like this is the market, this is the second one is the niche, and the last one here is the sub niche, right? So money and business. So under money and business, we have how to make money online, how to make money offline, business structure and organizing, digital marketing, network marketing, e-commerce. So many niches can fall under the money and business, financial whatever, financial trading, financial investing, and all that. So everything can be under this market, right? But instead of saying how to make money online, I can be a coach that teaches people how to make money as a freelancer, right? How to make money on Fiverr, or how to make money as a freelancer, right? Instead of me saying business structure and organizing, I can say business structure for restaurants, right? I become a specialist for restaurants. Sometimes you say, oh, won't I be losing some people? That's a mistake a lot of people will make. Now, if you're in a very competitive niche, if you're in a niche that is very competitive, for example, if you're in the business structure and organizing and it's very competitive, one way you can set yourself apart is to niche down further, is to come into a sub niche. For example, everybody is doing business structure and organizing. You decide to do business structure and organizing for restaurants, right? Everybody is doing digital marketing. You decide that, no, I don't want to do digital marketing. I want to do digital marketing for coaches. I even niche down further to sales funnel and automation for coaches, right? So if you are in a very competitive niche, you might want to niche down and carve your own sub niche from the big niche, right? So instead of saying digital marketing for coaches, instead of saying network marketing, probably you teach network marketers how to grow their business. You now say, okay, digital network marketing. That's all you want to do. Instead of saying e-commerce, a lot of people are into e-commerce. You can say e-com product promotion. So import your product and all that. All I do is teach you how to brand and promote, right? That's my niche. I don't teach you how to import. I don't teach you how to source for product. What I just teach you is when you get your product, I'm going to teach you how to brand and how to promote the product. Now let's go into wellness. Instead of saying, I'm everywhere in the health and wellness industry or health and wellness market, you can just say weight loss. But even weight loss is still quite broad because weight loss is very competitive. You might want to pick out your own market from the weight loss and crush that small market. So instead of saying, oh, I'm in the weight loss market, teaching everybody how to lose weight, you can say you are in the keto dieting niche. So you're not in the weight loss niche, you're in the keto dieting niche. So a lot of people are doing weight loss and everything, but you are doing keto dieting. So people would come to you, people who are interested in keto dieting, instead of going to pay for one weight loss course, they're just going to come to you because they feel that you are the specialist in that niche. Instead of saying, oh, I'm doing sexual health, I can say sexual health for men. So of saying weight loss, I can say getting back in shape for new moms. So my weight loss is just so specific to new moms. And when I'm putting out my messages, these new moms will believe that, oh, this person understands me more than every other person. So I need to go to this particular coach to work with this coach, right? So instead of saying, oh, I do everything about terminal diseases, I can say, okay, I only work with people who have high blood pressure, right? Or people who have diabetes. The same thing for relationship and sex, and the same thing for beauty and fashion. So instead of saying I'm a marriage coach, you can say, okay, I'm a coach who will help you to get back up or dust yourself up after heartbreak for women, right? Or maybe instead of saying dating, you say you teach shy guys how to get amazing ladies, right? How to talk to ladies, right? You'll be amazed at how profitable some of all these niches are, but from the look of things, it might not look profitable until you go into the market. I've worked with a lot of people, and when they tell me their niche, I'll be like, oh, am I sure this niche is going to be profitable? But when we get started, I'm always amazed because by the time we start running their ads, they get very cheap. The leads used to be cheaper than those that are in the money and business market, right? So you need to niche down and choose a very small niche, or make sure the niche is not so small, but a smaller niche in the big one, from the big one. Like dating is very big, marriage is very big, right? There's some niches that are very competitive. You might want to just choose a small part of that niche and crush it and do your thing there. Okay, so let's go back to our slides so we can continue and finish up with the presentation. Okay, so now that you've chosen your market, you've chosen your niche, now you want to see, I told you to choose all the skills that you have and everything. Look at all the skills, at least the skills will fall into one of the markets that we've talked about, right? And now you want to now choose your niches based on those skills that you have. Now you want to now prove that niche you've chosen, or all the niche you've written out, you want to see how profitable they are before you go into them. Because if you begin to create products in this market or in this niche and you don't get results, it might be really demoralizing. Yes, I know that sometimes we say, okay, you're in business, but at least the business should show some potential, should show that, oh, this is going to be profitable. Even if I don't get all the results now, maybe because I'm just starting, I'm just building my audience, I'm seeing that this is going to be something big. This is going to result to a very profitable venture, right? So you want to look at this business and see to be sure that it's going to be profitable. So the first one is pick up your niche and look at the audience size. One thing I use is the Google keyword tool. I type my niche in the Google keyword tool, maybe like, for example, business structure, for example. I type it into and I will see what people are searching around business structure and how many people are searching for information around business structure every month. Yes, this might not be a perfect criteria for you to use, because sometimes there are some markets that people don't even search on Google. For example, people work more on social media or Instagram. So that's why there are other criteria you can use to prove for profitability. So if the Google keyword tool doesn't work, you can go to Google and search for their keyword tool, and then you can type the name of your niche there and see how many people are searching for information. So you're going to see things like, oh, how to structure my business, ways to structure my business. So you're going to see different things people are searching around your niche, and then you see the number of searches monthly. So if you see that you have at least 1,000 searches on Google monthly, and that means the niche is big enough for you to go into, right? So if that doesn't work for you, you can check competitors. So people used to look at competitors as, oh, there's so many people competing in this market. I don't think I want to compete with a lot of people. If a lot of people are competing in that market, it means that the market is profitable. It means that there's profit for you then. All you just need to do is carve out a sub niche for yourself and crush the market. So if you have a lot of competitors, it's actually a good thing and not a bad thing, right? So if they are competitors, it shows that the market is profitable. Because if it's not profitable, you won't have a lot of people going into that market. So all you just need to do is look for a sub niche for yourself in that competitive market and go crush it in that sub niche. Then community. Are there forums around that market? For example, weight loss. Are there forums around weight loss? For example, money and business. Are there forums that talk about money and business? Aside forums, we are moving away from forums now. You can check Facebook groups. Are there Facebook groups around that niche or that market you want to go to? And how many of them? How many people are in those groups? So if you check Facebook groups and you see maybe 10 groups, for example, and you see that in those 10 groups, you have thousands of people in all the 10 groups, then you know that this market is profitable. If it's not profitable, you won't see a lot of groups around the market, and you're not going to see a lot of people in those groups, right? So check out for groups, check Facebook, check Google for forums, and see how many people are actually contributing to the forums, asking questions in the forums. Then when you see that there are a lot, then you know that, oh, this market is likely to be profitable. Then the last one is the solution you are bringing to the table, or the solution you are bringing to that market or in that niche, the solution you're providing in that niche, is it critical or optional? Is it critical or optional? People always will pay any amount of money for critical solutions. They must get this done. If not, a lot of things is going to get bad, or a lot of things are going to get bad, right? That means it's critical. But if it's optional and people are looking at it, oh, I think I can do without this, I don't think I really need this right now, then you're in a market whereby people can just pass on your product and just like, oh, I don't need it, right? I can pass on it. Except you now find a way to make it critical, to make it critical for them. Like if you're in the web design market, people are like, why should I learn web designing? I think I can do with it. But if you show them that web designing can actually transform their lives and help them make more money, because a lot of people actually need to design websites, then you've made it critical for them because people need more money, right? People need more money. It's a critical problem. So is your solution critical or optional? So you need to do this test and be sure that your market is actually profitable, or at least you have like an atom of, you have an idea that, oh, this market is going to be profitable before you jump into the market. Now let's look at the customer avatar. So now you've chosen your niche. We are assuming now that you've checked the profitability of your niche, and you've known that, oh, this is the niche I want to be playing in going forward, right? So the next thing you want to do is to draw up what we call your customer avatar. So what is the customer avatar about? So the customer avatar is just like a representation of who your customer, your ideal customer is. Now, no matter what you do, no matter the market you are, no matter the product you create, your product is usually or should not be for everybody. Should not be for everybody. I've asked people before that they come to me, they want to promote their products and all that. And I'm like, okay, who is your ideal audience? And they're telling me everybody needs this product. Everybody do not need your products, no matter how good you feel your product is. Everybody do not need your product, except you are providing product like air. Everybody needs to breathe in oxygen. But of course, we already have that in place. So everybody do not need your product. What can you provide that would? So you need to carve out your ideal audience. Now, let me use myself as an example. When I came into the digital space again, after working in banking for some years, I came back into the digital space because I was there before. I got into banking, then I came back again. I was working with everybody. Anybody who comes, I work with them. I do digital marketing. I render digital marketing services. I was working with everybody. Guess what? I was getting drained. I was not charging my worth. It was really terrible. I was not helping clients get results, because today I'm working with an accountant. Tomorrow I'm working with a meat seller, a meat shop. Next tomorrow I'm working into a network marketer. So I was working with different people. I didn't really have my ideal customer. Who is my ideal customer? Then around 2019, I sat down and asked myself that, who do I really want to work with? Who is that ideal customer I want to work with? So, because when you have a clear picture of who your ideal customer is, your content becomes streamlined. Because you start writing content that is directed towards that ideal customer. So I told myself that, see, this is what I was going to do. I was going to just work with coaches and consultants. And now, not with every coach and every consultant. I defined my audience further. I defined my avatars further. And I said, I was going to work with people who are career executives. They're executives in their career. I want to transition into coaching. That was my first avatar description. Or people who are already into coaching, into business coaching, or into coaching generally, or the business of coaching. They already have some clients coming in. They are making money, but their business is draining them. Because if you're in coaching and you don't have systems that are doing certain things for you, you don't have those automations doing those things for you, you might be making money, but the business is draining you, right? So I decided that, okay, this were the people I was going to work with. Now, when I'm putting out my content, I'm putting out my content or content that will resonate with this set of people. with this type of people I'm looking for. So if somebody is a starter and you don't even know the market you are going into, because somebody who is an executive, most times when they are coming into coaching, they know, because most times they are coming based on the experience they already have, working for maybe 15 years, 20 years. So I defined my avatar properly, and I knew that these were the people I was going to work with. These were the people I was going to work with, right? So when I started, it was really draining. I would say, because I was transitioning from working with everybody to working with specific people. So when some people come to me, maybe a network marketer comes, I refer them to somebody else, or I just tell them that, oh, I don't do that anymore. So I started working with coaches, and everything about my content was now directed towards those people. Now, so I defined my avatar properly. So now ask yourself, who do you want to work with? Define that person. If possible, give the person an imaginary name. Give the person, you can say, oh, Jane. Jane is an executive, a banking executive. She has worked in the bank for the last 15 years. So I begin to define the kind of problems they have. She's really drained in her work because she goes out in the morning and she doesn't return until 9 p.m. And she's looking to transition from banking into business or into coaching, right? I defined that avatar properly, right? Now, the next thing is, after defining or doing your avatar description, you want to ask yourself about their demographics. Now, who are these people? Then, and their psychographics also, what they do. Now, these people, what are their genders? Who are the kind of people you want to work with? Are they males? Are they females? Or are they both? What is the age range? This thing might not sound logical to you now until you actually start your business. You want to start running ads, because by the time you know the demographics of your audience, you know where to run ads. You know the influencers to go to. Because the moment you see the audience of the influencer, you know that, oh, these are my audience, because you've defined that audience properly. Now, gender, age, what age range do they fall in? Are they married? What's their marital status? What kind of device do they use? Are they people who are more into laptops? Are they people who are more into their mobile phone or their tablets? So you need to know the device they use most of the time, because when you start running ads also, you can target devices. You know the device to target. What location are they based? What location? So you look at, oh, this kind of audience I want to target. Where are they actually based? What location can you find them? Then we're now going into their psychographics. What they do? What are they interested in? What are their interests? What kind of experts do they follow? What kind of websites do they read from? There was a time I was running an ad for a pregnancy product. Yes, a post-pregnancy product, right? Now I'm asking myself, what kind of website do they read? And the first website that came to me was Baby Center. So people who just give birth, you see them on Baby Center reading things about their babies. Oh, my baby did this, my baby did that. So I decided to target people who visit that website. So what kind of books do they read? What kind of business book do they read? You can target some business books also. So you list them out. What kind of community do they belong to? What kind of association do they belong to? So that's what they do, their psychographics. So you need to actually map out all these things. Then now the next thing you want to do is your customer journey mapping. So that customer that you're trying to, that audience you're trying to reach or trying to coach or trying to give results to, is on a journey. So now they are in a distress spot. They're in a distress spot, and they want to go to the achievement spot, right? So they are the spots where they are overweight, and they want to go to the spots where they are at least normal size, right? They are at a good size. Or they are the spots where they are confused about their career or their career growth, to the point where they have a clear picture of what their career growth should be like. So now you're asking yourself as a coach, this person is distressed, this person is at this point, and this person wants to go to this point. What can I do as a coach to take this person from the points they are right now to the point they want to be? from the point they are right now to the point they want to be. So sometimes that's how you map out your coaching program. So what do I do to take this person from point A to point B? Or what did I do in my career to grow to the point of an executive in 10 years or maybe in 7 years? So what are the things I put in place? What are the things I did? So because that's why I say coaching comes from experience. So because you begin to look at your experience, what you did to actually go from point A to point B, or your track record. What did I do to go from being overweight to being a model, right? What are the things? What were the steps I took? Now you begin to map out those steps, everything step by step into a more structured manner. In a more structured manner, we'll still talk about product creation down the line. So you begin to map out those steps in a more structured manner till you get to the point where you're now like, oh, these are the things. This is the last thing. This is the first thing you have to do. This is the second thing, the third thing, the last thing, so that you can get the result you so desire. So you need to map out your customer journey. And in mapping out your customer journey, you know that your customer they are trying to go from a negative spot to a positive. They are trying to go from negative to positive, negative results to positive results. So the negative, they're trying to move from pain and frustration to their goals and their desire. So pain and frustration is, what are the pains your customers are going through right now? You write them out. So there's going to be like a worksheet down. So you can use this worksheet to map out all the things that we've discussed. So you can download the worksheets below this video. So there's going to be link to download the worksheets below this video, so you can use it. You can write it, you can print it out and write out all these things. Now, what's the pain and frustration that your audience or your ideal audience, what is that pain they have right now? They are struggling with their career growth. They're struggling with being overweight. They are struggling with money problems. They're struggling with growing their businesses. They are struggling with, what are the things they're struggling with? What are the things those things that keep them up at night? They're struggling with not making profit, right? That will keep a business person up at night. That's the pain they have. Now, what is the fear? What's their fear and their implication? Fear and implication is just simply, as a result of not solving that pain, what might happen to them? What is the implication of not solving that pain? So, for somebody who is not making profit, the implication of not solving that pain right now is the business is going to shut down. That's one of the implications. The implication of not solving that pain right now is they are going to just get flat out broke and be homeless. That's another implication, right? So it's good you map out all these things. They might not make sense to you now until you start putting out your content, until you start writing your copies. That's when some of all these things will actually make sense to you. So they're trying to move from negative to positive. Now, what are their goals and their desire? Their goals and their desire, what are the things they want? They want to start making more profit in their business. So goals and desire is just the opposite of pain and frustration. So they want to make more money in their business. They want to be able to do, they want to just make more, they want to start making more profit. They want to make more sales in their business and all that. So what are the dreams, their dreams and aspirations? Dreams and aspiration is just simply the opposite of fear and implication. So what are those things they dream of? So they want to make more money so that they can travel the world. They want to make more money so that they can send their children to the best schools. They want to make more money so that they can give the children the best education, or travel the world with their family and all that. Those are their dreams and aspirations. So you need to know the pains and frustration of your audience, the fears and implication of not solving that dream, that pain, the goals and desire, what they desire, right? It's just the opposite of pain and frustration. And dreams and aspiration, as a result of solving that pain, or as a result of getting results, what are the things they desire? They want to make money so that they want to make money. I want to go from being overweight to being in good shape, so that, right? There's always that hidden agenda in the results you provide. So that's what you always tap into. When we get into copy, I would show you how to tap into those hidden agenda people have within them. But just map this out. When we get there, we are going to expatiate more on it. So now, lastly, the last thing we are going to talk about is your core message. Your core message is your value. your brand value. So what are you bringing to the table? Why should people listen to you? Why should people believe you? So your core message reveals who you are, what you stand for, and the transformation you bring to your customers' lives. That's your core message. So you need to map out your core message. What is that message of peace? Every great person, every great person had a core message. Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, uh, every great person had a core message. Jesus' core message was a message of peace and message of forgiveness. Martin Luther King was message of one day he dreams that a black man would be. Yes, they all had that core message. So in your business, what is your own core message? Now, first, before you go ahead to write out your core message, you need to understand, you need to know who your ideal customers is. Who is that my ideal customer? So my ideal customer is a new mom who wants to burn all the baby fat and be sexy again. That's my ideal customer, right? Now, what are the pains that they have? So the pains that they have right now is maybe they can't seem to get rid of the fat no matter what they've been doing. They can't stop eating. They can't get rid of the fat. They can't stop eating because they're breastfeeding. They don't even have the time because they have a baby. They don't have the time to go to the gym, right? So those are the pains that they have. Now, how can you help this person? How can you help the person? So you're going to help them burn fat fast using a special keto dieting fits for new moms, right? So they don't really have to go to the gym. They don't really have to stop eating. They don't really, and they can still get rid of the fat, right? Without needing to stop eating or without going to the gym, right? So when you are crafting out your core message, you need to know who your ideal customer is. Okay, I help. So you've seen some people who say, "Oh, I help this and this and this. I help new moms do this and this and this and this and this." So that's message. And again, you need to tap into that thing that they want. When you're writing your core message, you are not helping people lose weight. You are not helping them lose weight. You are helping them get their dream body, right? So that aspiration, you need to be able to tap into that aspiration, that thing that they desire deep down, like you help them build. I help small business owners build big businesses so that they can travel the world, so that they can see the world. So you can see how I brought in their aspiration into my core message. Okay. So now we are going to be talking about the remaining things in video 2. Video 2 is where we are going to be talking about how you can put up systems that will help you sell, because you have to start selling before you create your product. I see people who make the mistake of trying to create the product before they sell. So how do you sell before you create the product? What are the things you need to put in place? What are the systems you need to put in place to sell before you start creating your product? Because of course, when people start buying that product, you have that confidence to create that product for them because they've actually paid for it. So how do you sell before you create the product? That's what we're going to be talking in video 2. So video 1 was basically introduction, yes, laying the groundwork, how you can get started in coaching and everything. And video 2 will now be how you can then put up systems to start selling to this niche that you've discovered, right? So I'll see you in video 2. So make sure, so for you to not to miss out on the notification on video 2, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you drop your comment. So what were your takeaways from video 1? What did you get from video 1? Make sure you like, and make sure you also pick the link and share to your friends that would actually benefit from this training. So I'm going to see you in video 2, where we are going to talk about piecing up super systems to sell. Peace.